Hello, and welcome to Shedding the Bitch Radio, where you can discuss, debate, and get advice on how to discover and shed the bitches of fear, insecurity, self-doubt, and negative mindsets so you can realize your dreams and life purpose and create and accelerate the riches you want in life. Join us here live every Tuesday at noon Eastern and dialogue with us at 818-572-2910. You can also chat with us at Blog Talk Radio /SheddingTheBitch or share your stories on our website at sheddingthebitch.com. Whatever the bitch is that's holding you back from living your life to the fullest, it's not worth giving up the riches in life that you deserve. So call in now and let Bernadette Boas know what's holding you back. 818-572-2910.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to our Ask Me Anything episode on Shedding the Bitch Radio. I'm Bernadette Boas, of course, and on this particular episode, which is the first Tuesday of each and every month, I am taking your questions, stories, and challenges and providing you some tips, advice, sometimes tough love, and how you can go about getting your question addressed. Or maybe you're having a challenge of some kind, or maybe you just want to share a story that could help other people. All you need to do is one of several ways, and that is post it on our Shedding the Bitch page on Facebook or Twitter. You can send them through LinkedIn. Majority of you send me private messages, emails on LinkedIn, or you can even DM me, as more and more of you are using Messenger on Facebook. You can certainly do that. Or you can even email me directly, BernadetteBoas@ballofireinc.com. And so you share your question, story, or challenges. I respond as quickly as possible so you get that advice or tip or tough love that you need. And then I kind of scrape all of that. Lydia and Isel and I will scrape all of that and we'll bring it right here into the first Tuesday of every month's Ask Me Anything episode. So that's what today is all about. At the same time, I want to mention to you, if you notice kind of some beachy background here, I'm actually on vacation. Yes, I'm in Ocean City, New Jersey with, I guess, 4 of my 5 sisters. Unfortunately, one of them was not able to make it. And we are just enjoying the desolate beach. I think we might have seen maybe a handful of people, and we're just enjoying kind of sitting inside, looking over at the ocean and the dolphins swimming by, and just taking in some time with each other. And we usually do this trip in May, Mother's Day week, and I share that kind of that vacation, that time and experience right here on Shedding the Bitch Radio on that Tuesday during the week we're at the beach. But due to this crazy year, we had to move it. So we just got down and we'll be here for the week. And yet I still want to reach out and support you. So we are on the beach coming to you and addressing your questions, stories, and challenges. So if I don't look normally like my made up self, then you'll understand why. Because actually I'm getting ready, after we're done, getting ready to go play some pickleball. And many of you know how obsessed I am with that. But on with Ask Me Anything. Let's see. So we do have a number of questions, and should you even be after we broadcast, should you please be sure you can post them right here with the video and or the audio on Blog Talk Radio. You can certainly download the episodes on any of the streaming services, but make sure you're sending me an email, Bernadette Boas @ballofireinc, a DM on Facebook. You're sending me something on LinkedIn, or you're just posting it to Shedding the Bitch on Facebook and Twitter. Don't sit there and just be, all in your head about whatever question you have or challenge you're dealing with, or maybe even a decision or an opportunity that you just would like some sounding board, some guidance, some support in trying to pull it all together. All right. Now, the other thing I need to mention is today is the first Tuesday of November, Election Day, at least here in the States. So I need to make a plea for anyone that is out there and hasn't voted yet. Please get out and vote. If you haven't dropped off your mail-in ballot, please drop it off before the deadlines within your state. And let's all, each of us individually, be part of change, whatever that is for you. All right. But that said, it creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress and a lot of uncertainty. So many of you, as I was kind of waking up this morning and going through my streams on both Facebook or Twitter, many of you are expressing that you're losing sleep, that you're very anxious, that just the unknown of what will happen after today. I just want to very quickly, because it wasn't part of the discussion until about 5 minutes before coming here and broadcasting. But all I want to share with you is, if you've done your part when it comes to the anxiety that you're having, the stress, the apprehension, the uncertainty of change that you're looking for, as long as you've done your part, and in this case of the elections, you've voted, you've dropped off your mail-in ballot, you've done what you need to do, then you need to let everything else go, because you can't control it. As much as your vote is critical, because it could be that one vote or that small, set of votes that, take an election one way or the other. But as long as you've done your part, then that's really all you can do at this point. So you just need to kind of let it go and not allow that anxiety and that stress and that uncertainty and overwhelm to really drain your spirit, drain your joy, drain your focus, because it'll just sabotage your productivity. It'll sabotage your outlook on life. It'll sabotage, your mood and your attitude. And it's just, I don't want to say it's not worth it, but it's not serving you in any capacity. And so if you really need to be convinced of that, just think about it. Just sit there and just ask yourself, what is all this anxiety and this heaviness and this burden that I'm carrying around? What is it doing for me? Well, I'm sitting here kind of on my couch and stuck, and I don't want to do anything, to move myself forward. I just kind of feel like I'm, in quicksand. And so what good is that doing for you? Just consider that. What good is it doing for you? And if you can't find anything good in it, then you need to figure out a way to kind of release it and let it go and move into a place of, okay, I can't control, the bigger picture, the bigger outcome. And I've done my part in what I can control. So now I just need to focus on my little sphere of influence, which is right here. And I just need to, do what I need to do to manage and control my life, and get on it, get busy with that. And that'll, find you in a shifting kind of state to where you are then putting your attention to those things that you can definitely influence, you can definitely take action on, you can definitely move forward on, and let everything else go, until there is then something that you need to do or want to do for whatever, the next set of circumstances that come about, or the next set of challenge, or the next set of, yeah, you're excited, now what? So whatever it is, don't live in the present all consumed with anxiety and stress and overwhelm and uncertainty. Let it go, and then, try to work on those things that will give you that focus, energy, clarity, confidence, and momentum to move forward. Because life is just going to be one constant change, and that change could be working for you or against you. And why sit in the present, worried about what's going to happen in an hour or a day or a week or a month? Use the energy that you have right now in the present to get done what it is that you want to get done. So that's where I'll leave that. Okay. But I thought I just needed to address it based on a lot of the posts that I was seeing this morning. Okay. So the first question came through a situation someone brought to me as they were making decisions about leaving their corporate career and wanting to start out a business of their own and go out on their own. And they started sharing this this goal. Maybe it is a dream, this goal with kind of their inner circle. And they were shocked that they got some major pushback. They got major judgment. They got major criticism, um, major questioning, as to why they would, and especially in what they perceive as uncertain times, why would they go and make this foolish decision, as one said. But more importantly, they were stating it in such a way to this individual that was as if they were living this decision. And what I mean by that is here, we always think we know the people around us, even those closest to us, even those living in the same house with us. We think we know that individual. And, quite honestly, guys, you need to get to the point where you recognize that no, no one knows you the way you know you. No one knows what's really going on within your heart. Yes, many of us, and I did for decades, put on a good mask and a good face and a good front as to what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're dealing with. And therefore, it gives the impression to other people as if they know you, and yet they don't. So the first thing that I said to him was, if you are firm and committed and you're dedicated, that's not the word I'm looking for, but it'll work. You're dedicated to the decision that you're making, and this is what it is that you want to do and what's best for you. Definitely that is going to be, if you're living in that conviction, that's going to be the foundation of you being able to kind of say, talk to the hand, thank you very much, and let it deflect all that judgment and those questionings and even some hate talk. It'll just deflect off of you and go out into the, back to them or back into the universe, of which doesn't affect you. And that's the beautiful place that you want to get yourself to, is to where no matter what someone says to you or judges you or hates on you or questions you, you're firm and confident in what it is that you want to do, and therefore it doesn't affect you. Now, a good majority of you aren't at that place. A good majority don't even get to that place, because they do fall prey to peer pressure, to others' expectations versus their own. They fall prey to doubting themselves, being insecure, not feeling that they're worth pursuing their goals and their dreams. And therefore, the minute someone comes along and starts judging or questioning or hating on it, they start questioning and judging and hating on themselves. So we talked through I wanted to confirm their conviction, their determination, their commitment, not just conviction, but commitment, dedication, whatever word you want to use. And it was firm, it was strong. So I said, okay, then what is really bothering you? What is really, shaking you? If it's not you, then questioning, the decisions you're making. And he went on to say that it's purely the fact that he wants the people that he loves and cherishes to support him. And guess what? You just can't control that. Just can't control that. Just like what we were talking about earlier about control, there is only one person you can control. That's you. There's only one thing that you can control. That's how you respond to things, or how you act on things, or how, you behave on things. Anything else, even those sleeping next to us, or the children that we're raising, or the friends that we have, or the colleagues that we've worked with for years, you cannot control what it is that they're thinking, that they're wanting, that they're concerned about, that they're stressing over, because the the basis of their input to you, the basis of their judgment, questioning, or hate talk, to you could be coming from a place that they have to deal with. It has nothing to do with you in a good majority of the cases. Sure, they could be genuinely concerned, right? But genuine concern is asking a lot of questions to gain a good understanding of where, in this case, he's at, and then simply either, understanding it. It doesn't mean they have to accept it or not accept it, but at least they understand it. So then they can continue supporting that individual, regardless of the fact that they agree or disagree with it, with what it is that they're doing, right? So it's key to really understand that you're not going to know where that person's um, motive, where their own insecurities, doubts, negativities are coming from that could be causing them to be projecting it out on you. Because a good amount of time when you share your goals and your dreams and other people shut them down, it's because they're not pursuing their goals and their dreams. They're not even, confident enough, secure enough, feel valued enough to acknowledge them, let alone to share them with other people. So, and you can't control that. You have no influence on that. And it has really no direct impact to you unless you choose to let it impact you. And, you can't. If you want to pursue and achieve your goals and dreams, you cannot allow the lack of other people pursuing their goals and dreams to hold you back. So it goes to that idea that there will be people that even in your closest circle, even in the same bed, the same household, whatever the case might be, will not intentionally and cruelly, want to hold you back or, keep you from, doing what you want to do. But their own subconscious insecurities, beliefs, systems, their values, their own ambitions get in the way, and they get afraid because they know that, well, if this person changes, in this case if he changes, what does that mean for me? Where does that leave me? What does that do to our relationship? And therefore that fear, it starts to then kind of be projected into them throwing doubt, judgment, questioning, so forth and so on. So I simply said to him, stand in your conviction, stand in your, in your goals and your dreams, stand firmly there, and take the information in, consider it even if you want. But if it comes up, nope, it's not relevant, it's not important, it's not going to change, your mind, change your direction, change what it is that you're doing. Then you need to be okay with the fact that there's always going to be people judging you, questioning you, even hating on you. And you have to be okay with that when it comes to you pursuing, let alone achieving your goals and dreams. Okay. All right. Let's see. I was then asked, and this was a couple of weeks ago as well, as many of you know, we just wrapped up our Goals to Riches challenge, our 5-day Goals to Riches challenge. And let's see, it was the fourth challenge that we held since, I think, February. So this one individual happens to be part of each one of the challenges, which I absolutely love. Because I'll throw out to you that whether it's my challenge or anything, any course or program or book, we revisit things. We reread books. We redo a training class. We go back to a motivational speaker or speaking engagement, because we know that at any point in time when we're first learning and observing or being part of, there's going to be things that we take away from it, and we might even embed within ourselves and in our, day in, day out. But at the same time, there's also situations where we're not able to receive the bulk of the information, the bulk of the lessons, the bulk of the best practices, the bulk of the stories, because we're not there. We're mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we're not ready. And so So this one individual, kind of comes into the challenge each and every time. And like I said, I love that. What they then came back with was a question around, and I want to, well, it was simple, or I distilled it down, but how do you do a challenge? How do you even do I grouped a webinar in there. So I do a lot of online, even long before this past year. I was doing summits and webinars and like I said, challenges at least in February, but a lot of online programs. So they were just very curious as to they're interested. They have been part of my challenge as well as other people's online programs, and how would one get into doing it. And so I thought, well, that's a good question, not only for her but for all of you. So if you've considered kind of coming online so to speak, and you've considered what it is that you want to be doing, taking your expertise and putting it into some sort of educational program, then I thought I would share at least some of my tips. Now I'm not a launch expert. I'll take that back. I'm a launch expert because I've done them so many times, but I don't like go out and make money coaching you on how to do launches. But I definitely have a lot of lessons learned and best practices and things to do or not to do. So I'm going to keep it simple though, because I think many of us we want we try to download you know every aspect of what it is that we need to do something, and it makes us immediately overwhelmed, and the next thing you know, we might pay attention to it for a couple of days and even be excited about it, but then it appears just too overwhelming, too time consuming, too hard of an effort, and we kind of walk away from it. And yet it could be the perfect strategy, the perfect opportunity for you. So I'm going to suggest you just keep it simple. Okay, just keep it simple. If you want to, take some of your expertise, whatever that might be, and put it online, then simply do that. And what I mean by that is this. So you could sit down, and I've done this multiple times over the years. You could sit down and just come up with a whole list of all the things you could talk about or educate on. And I call it edutain, because I do believe that there's a part of education and entertainment, and the entertainment is really the storytelling, is really using your clients or your friends or whomever's, but experiences and life stories as a way to bringing everybody into a common place where they can relate, and therefore they can see themselves in the work and the education that you're providing. Okay, so just sit down and come up with a whole boatload of topics that you could be talking about. Now, that list, without getting too far into it, but that list can then be used for you to take it, and you're not only doing using it for your online programs, but you're using it for blog posts, you're using it for podcast episodes, you're using it for articles, you're using it for 2-minute video blips, whatever the case might be. So this exercise I'm suggesting, of just sitting down and coming up with a whole list of topics you can talk on, could be reused in many, many, many ways. Now, another key part to that is I would suggest to somebody to not worry about right now your target client. Just make that list. But then you eventually want to get to, well, wait a minute, what is my business? Or what is it that I want my business to be? What is it that I want to coach on or consult on or speak on or train on or, so forth and so on. So then take that list and then pull out the things that are relevant to the brand, so to speak, that you want to start establishing. And that in itself will start helping you identify who the target market is for that education or edutainment. It'll help you say, okay, so is this for women? Is it for men? Is it for both? Is it for business? Is it for, something, in personal life? Is it for health? Is it for finances? Is it for, relationships? Is, you're all that prep work, so to speak, will then help you hone in who your target market is. After that, once you have even those simple things done, then I would sit there and I would simply take, a subject and, kind of post it that you're going to be having this, 15-minute, half hour conversation regarding this particular topic. And I would post it out on Facebook, even if you don't even have a Facebook group or a business page yet. I'd even post it out there on Facebook, maybe share it on Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn, and then just start doing them. Just start doing them. Now, as far as turning it into a challenge, so you starting to do them maybe once a week. Now, I have recently, and actually, I'm going to be working this into my year, beginning of the year plan. But you could even say, okay, well, I really want to jumpstart. Then what is all this going to look like to put into a challenge or to put into a launch of some kind or a course of some kind? And so what you could do is say, all right, so for the month of December, I have all these topics. And for the month of December, I'm going to go live every day for 7 minutes, for 15 minutes. I wouldn't do them every day for anything longer than maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then just do them every day. And that 30-day of focus will provide you a good amount of feedback and input as to what topics are hitting and what topics are important. But not only that, but then you'll be able to start seeing, what type of people are actually watching or leaving comments or liking. And you could pick up a lot of data as far as, kind of what is your, it may not be your specific target market base at that point, but at least it's providing you some information about what people are looking for out there. Once you have kind of this familiarity, this comfort with doing, getting online and presenting and educating online, and you're getting all this data, being compiled, then you can formally spend time on, okay, what does it mean to have a challenge? What does it mean to have a launch? Because, there's challenges, there's launches, there's webinars, there's courses, and they're all, they all have their own uniquenesses to them. Launches and challenges are typically, and I should add summits, because I had just done, as you all know, I had just done a summit. So they're all different formats, and meaning some are pre-recorded, some are live, some are kind of you and me versus experts being involved. Some are formulated around one core topic, of which then broken down into multiple days of content. Some, like my challenge, was wrapped around a challenge, like a specific activity I wanted you to do each and every day for that 5-day challenge, as a way of instilling a discipline that could be a powerful tool for one to use. So, and so there's all kinds of, there's the pre-recorded that run automatically versus the webinar that is scheduled at a particular time, particular day. So after if you've never done it before, after you have really kind of worked on what is it I want to educate on, what is it that I want to be doing and how I want to be doing it, who I think my target market is, then you can get formally more in depth around, okay, so what's the best format for me? Like, I learned that I didn't necessarily want to do from the very beginning, I didn't want to do a webinar that was on demand, or I didn't want to do, like I did several years ago, I didn't want to create a course and then upload that to a platform and hope that people find it. I definitely was more comfortable doing something live and something interactive. So in this time that you're, coming up with the list, and then you're just getting it out there and doing something, maybe it is for 30 days or 7 days, whatever it is, you're getting, kind of comfortable with what is your preferred format. Then you can get more formal about the planning process of a challenge or a webinar or a course or a summit, so forth and so on. So I'll just leave it at that for now. But if you want, any of you want even more lessons learned, best practices, the do's and the don'ts, what technologies, can be used, so forth and so on, then do not hesitate to reach out to me directly. And I would be more than happy to get on a call and share some of that with you. Okay. Or let me know, and I can write up a blog post and, with a whole list of do's and don'ts and best practices and share that with you. Okay. All right. Let's see. How to ask for a raise. It wasn't a raise, it was a bonus. So I kind of wrote that incorrectly there. Someone had come to me because they had they had been assigned to take on a project from someone that was leaving the company. And she had already known that this initiative, because she was a part of it, but she wasn't leading it, this initiative would take a good 50-60% of her time. Now, like many, it wasn't as if something was taken away for her then to take this on. So she had to figure out and had to work through reprioritizing everything that she was working on and making sure that she not only restructured her schedule or her work week, but also she had to make sure she got to the key stakeholders to really discuss priorities on all the initiatives she now had on her plate, to then be proactive of managing expectation. Because of course everybody says, well, everything's a top priority, a number one priority, but it's not. And we've talked about that before. So, so she, handled all that. And then she went on to take on this project for about a year. And yes, it did force her to have to work over and above her full time. But never complained, never, raised an issue about it, knew it had to get done until it was permanently reassigned and handled in the long term. She was all okay with all of that. And yet she knew that the individual who had this position, who had this project, she also knew it was their full time, that this was the only initiative that they had full time. And she also was well aware of the monies they were making, the salary they made to handle this initiative. And obviously, if you think about it, if she's taking it on, but it's not necessarily an opportunity for her to take it on full time, she takes it on full time, but she has to take it on full time on top of everything else that she was doing. So you look at that and go, yeah, it's like two people's role. She's doing the role of two people, which then, for many would say, okay, then that's the two salaries, that this one person's taking on. And therefore there should be some, compensation adjustment for taking that on. But she wasn't looking for, I want a salary increase to be equivalent. It was more of, okay, so I've done this initiative very effectively and very successfully, and therefore I'd like a bonus. Not a raise, but a bonus. I'd like a bonus. And so then it was a matter of, okay, so how do I position that? And this time of year and or the beginning of a year, this is like a top thing that people will come to me for coaching on, is how do I present a request for promotion, a raise, a bonus? How do I present, wanting a new, not only a new position, but even take on a new initiative, a new project, so forth and so on. How do I present that? So we've talked about it quite a bit. So I'll share what I typically will share, and then just say that you can use this structure regardless of what it is you're going after, whether it's a raise, a bonus, a promotion, a new initiative, a new role and responsibility, whatever the case might be. And that is simply to what your boss or group of people want is to understand the justification for what it is you're requesting. So this even like it would pertain to if you wanted to move from working in an office to go, working at home, or working at home to going into an office. No matter what it is that you're making a request for, you're making an ask for, you need to have a business case for it. You need to justify, not just, because I did, because I was successful, because I was, effective, because I did do X, Y, and Z. You need to kind of provide validation of what it is that you're asking for. So I simply say it's a business case. And it's a business case that basically says, this is your request. This is why you're requesting it, meaning, in this case, I took on this position. I didn't have the opportunity to give up what I was already working on. So I added this to my already 70, 80% capacity. And therefore that took me to 120, 130% capacity. While at the same time, these were my achievements. These were my accomplishments. This is what got done. This is, what feedback I received. This is, what changes. And then you're getting more serious about this is the, quantifiable result of my handling, my working, my leading, my being part of this initiative. Because what they're going to want to see is not just that you took on a project and it got done. I mean, you would think that would be sufficient, but that's meeting expectation. If you want to put it into a performance review type of stance, that's just meeting expectation. What they want to see is that, your contribution led to something more efficient, more effective, more productive, more profitable, more, revenue generating, more something. And so, your request then, is then, so your ask is then kind of defended as to why this ask is important, what the benefits of this, this ask is, and then kind of the justification for the, whether it's quantifiable or qualifiable, what the adjustments are. So the qualifiable, could also be, we brought the teams together. We resolved a lot of overlap or conflict between business functions. We streamlined processes that then can get translated, hopefully, into quantifiable numbers. So you have both a qualifiable business case element, and then you have the quantifiable business case element. And you would hope that the quantifiable business case element would definitely create the return on investment of not only the initiative, but your ask. And what I mean by that is, so say your contribution and what it is that this initiative did for the company, saved the company $100,000. And you found, or you streamlined, or, the changes that were made, gave the company a savings of $100,000. Well, your ask is for, $10,000. So, that's a tenfold ROI, that, you're just asking for $10,000 of what you found, improvement of $100,000. So, very simply, whether it's a promotion, whether it's a raise, whether it's a bonus, whether it's an opportunity for a new, role responsibility, you would just kind of build this business case as to, the ask, why you're asking, what the benefits of the ask, and then what the results that you achieved, that is kind of provoking you making this request. It can be used across the board. Okay. So again, if you kind of want to, walk through your situation, your scenario, and I can help you, get the details in that, then at any time, don't hesitate to even schedule a breakthrough call with me. And you can go to tiny.cc/riches breakthrough call. And let's spend 30 minutes and discuss it, and let me help you, build that case for yourself. Again, end of year, beginning of year is always good for these type of requests. Not to say that you can in the middle of the year or any time of the year. But at the same time, at the end of the year, many businesses need to spend the money that they had in their budget, or they lose it. So, don't think that, oh, well, we're into, November, December, things are going to quiet down, and, therefore there's no spending going on. Not true. Just like people have an idea, well, there's no hiring going on, or there's no spending of new products or services. Not true. They need to spend their money now, or they lose it going into the new year. So make those requests, but ensure that you have a business case for it. Don't go in going, I want a raise, and yet you haven't done anything to justify it. And, just do know that they'll say, well, performance reviews are coming up. But we all know for some companies, performance reviews take till like April, May, June to get done. So don't even let that, kind of cause hesitation of you making the ask. Ask, but have it, have it formed and structured in such a way that it's going to work for you as opposed to against you. Don't go in just flippantly, like verbally. You want some justification for it. They expect justification for it. All right. There was something else I wanted to say to that point, though, of end of year, beginning of year. Yeah, but certainly ask. Okay. I think that was the questions for today. But keep in mind, at any point in time, please get your questions answered. Get your challenges supported. Get whatever story you want to share out there so other people can learn from it. So be sure, go to Shedding the Bitch on Facebook or Twitter and post them there. Post them in Blog Talk. Down underneath the episode, you'll find a chat function. You can send them directly to me at Bernadette Boas at Ball of Fire Inc. You can send them to me through LinkedIn Message, or you can send them even to Messenger on Facebook. And just make sure you're getting the support and the help that you need at any point in time. All right. And keep in mind, we do this the first Tuesday of every month is Ask Me Anything. And, I just want to be able to provide you the tips, the advice, sometimes tough love, in order for you to continue moving forward. And as we do move into closing out the year, we will talk more and more about how to close out the year effectively while planning and opening and ramping up the new year in a very powerful way. And stay tuned as well. We will be doing our next Goals to Riches Challenge. It'll be all new. It'll be completely restructured, and it's all based on your feedback and input, which I so appreciate. And we'll be kicking that off in early December to get you ready for 2021. All right. Let's see. Just want to make sure. All right. So for everybody here in the Shift to Riches community and Shedding the Bitch community, I want to thank you so much. And I am going to go off and play some pickleball and get back on vacation. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day and week, and even election day for those of us in the US. And I will see you right back here next Tuesday at noon Eastern time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Shedding the Bitch Radio with Bernadette Boas. Join Bernadette every Tuesday at noon Eastern as she helps you shift your bitches to riches. And the dialogue is always going on at sheddingthebitch.com. See you next week.